Good morning. Hope everyone slept well and ready for another provocative day, thought-provoking day. I want to tell you, if any of you that missed the session last night with Chief Mullen from Charleston, you missed a gift. So for those of you that were there, it was magnificent. He's still here, may be in the room now, but I know he'll be here for the rest of the time. So hopefully you can have a chance to talk with him. The video you just saw, and I hadn't seen it before, of Dr. Lacona. He was a board member of ours that passed away in early 2016, I believe. And I had only had a chance to meet him once and spend some time with him because he was ill for quite some time. But the moment I met him, after I spent 5 minutes with him, it's like I was in love. I was in love with the man. And so this year, we announced last year, but this year we are giving out, or beginning a new award series for community activism for health. And we'll be giving that this evening for the first time at our reception. So I hope you'll all be there for that. It's a wonderful marker for us as an organization to start celebrating and congratulating those at the level of the community, at the grassroots level, who are being activists and champions for health causes. So we're going to get started on today, and it will be my pleasure to introduce the boss of my bosses, my board chair, Jerome Davis. Jerome is the Regional Vice President of the Colorado for Public Service Company of Colorado, which is an Xcel Energy company. And in that role, he has leadership responsibility for local government affairs in 165 communities throughout the state. He's on many boards. He works with a charitable organization in Xcel Energy. He is a native Colorado, native Denverite, a two-time graduate of Regis, the husband of Jackie and the father of Jasmine and Jordan. Please, and I know you will give my boss a warm round of applause. Welcome, Jerome.
Well, thanks, Karen, for that warm introduction. Karen's sort of been on the job, I think she said yesterday, going on 2 years. And would you all agree with me that she's simply been amazing? So good morning. I get to do a little bit of talk about inequity here. So I wanted to start off, first of all, and just sort of talk a little bit about acknowledging some of the very dedicated and passionate peers on the board of the Colorado Health Foundation that serve with me. I am very humbled to be in a leadership role with these individuals, and having worked very closely with them, they do a tremendous job on behalf of the foundation. So if they could, the board members that are here today, if they could stand up, please, and be acknowledged. In addition, I also think it's always extremely important to honor those that come from before us. I know we have some board members here who have served in the past. I'm not sure if any of them are here. I know there are at least about 7 of them here. If any of them are here in the audience right now, if you could please stand, prior board members. Great. All right. So what do we got here? A couple of good-looking kids. Certainly, full disclosure, they certainly take after their mother. I don't have a problem at all admitting that I married up, so it's okay to state that. Great kids, though. Respectful, do things well. We don't have any issues with them. But I don't want you to think they're always great because they're both still on the payroll. And so I know all parents know what that means. We have not figured out how to get them out yet. So, nevertheless, they're working their way through it. They're both in school. They're both working. I love them dearly. However, what's unusual about these two kids is that they both are afflicted with a disorder called sickle cell anemia. And so that disorder causes sickling shape of the cells, red blood cells, which can cause problems in getting the oxygen to flow through the veins. And that can cause severe pain issues for them. They were diagnosed well within 2 or 3 months of their birth of having this. And so you wonder, well, why do I disclose that? When we're having these sort of courageous conversations, one of the things that I think is important is that you have to be sensitive. You have to show your own vulnerabilities. I'm a pretty private guy. I really have not even acknowledged this, even to our own board or staff, but that is them. But we've been very fortunate, my wife and I, and them. We've had the resources to get them the best health care, including preventive care, including mental health care in terms of dealing with something like this, and understanding the system of how we manage it and how we manage it as it relates to the dollars that are required of this. And as a result of that, they've lived very healthy, quality lives. So good that I would go as far as to say they've lived better lives than those that are healthy. So you ask me, okay, Jerome, what's the point? What are you bringing them up for? Well, I do like to show them off. That's one thing for sure. But the real reason is when I joined the foundation board, I really began to learn more about healthcare and this industry as a whole. And as I've learned more and more about it, particularly as we embarked on this new vision statement, I began to ask myself, well, what if? And I asked these questions about, would things be different for them under some certain circumstances? And so I really began thinking about that of, what if they were diagnosed at a later age? Would their health care be any different? Or if they lived in a different zip code, should that have any determination on the kind of health care they receive? Background: white, brown, red, whatever. Should that determine anything? What our household income is, whether we're in the 1% or whether we're at the poverty level. Whether or not we have health insurance. What if they don't have access to healthy food? What if they're facing inequities that many Coloradans experience every day? What if we didn't have the ability to bring health in reach for them? More importantly, what if they didn't have all they need to be healthy? So this is real critical here. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm no better than anyone in this room, and neither are them. When it comes to health care, this is so critically different. We live in this capitalism of a nation. But the most important piece here about health care is it shouldn't make any difference in terms of what people receive in terms of that care. So none of those determinants should change what that access looks like or the type of care you get. Health care should be equal to all of us. And as I started thinking about this, it really got me committed to saying, hey, because we have the ability to provide this for our kids, I would have to think that every parent wants to have that ability for their kids, for their parents, for their brothers, sisters. We should not even be having this conversation, but we are. And so the great thing about this, that we're having the conversation, is for us to begin thinking through it from a personal standpoint. So I take it personal. And that's one of the reasons I did join this organization. It's personal for me. And I think what you've been seeing of it as regarding a theme from this symposium is how does it impact you personally? Because that's the first step. And if it does impact you there, then we want us to begin joining the small groups and begin building this from the grassroots up. So I take it personal. I know our board takes it personal. The organization takes this personal. We are all committed to what this vision says, that across Colorado, each of us can say we have all we need to live healthy lives. That's what we want. And I want to know who's going to go on this journey with us. That's really what I want to know. So I'm really interested in that. Who over here wants to join us? I know this middle section isn't going to let them outdo them. See? All right, over here to the right. All right, how about all of us? Let's do this. Thank you. I really just wanted to give you a little bit of my own personal story and hope you get on the train with us. And I'm very enthused about seeing and hearing from many of you that you do want to do this, because I believe together we can make this thing happen. So let's go do it. Thank you.